Good evening and welcome to House
Blog
of
Talk
Gospel.
Radio.
A look at human trafficking.
Good evening, and welcome to House of Gospel Blog Talk Radio. Coming to you from 231 6th Avenue. Human trafficking. What is human trafficking? The national hotline for help for human trafficking is 1-888-373-7888. In the year 2007, 246,267 people involved in human trafficking. 22,784 just in this year alone. 56,000 human trafficking cases reported since December 2007. Human trafficking. National hotline for human trafficking is 1-888-373-7888. National Human Trafficking.
Good evening and welcome to House of Gospel Blog Talk Radio. Our special guest tonight is Miss Cassandra Dunn Howard. I know her from working with Pacers here locally in Monroe County, and several days ago I had the opportunity to talk to her about human trafficking. And for the last 2 or 3 days I've been digging into human trafficking and finding out what it's all about. And it's a very insidious and crime against human beings, young girls, males and females, and it's present here in Alabama. Miss Cassandra Dunn, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Mr. Howard, for having me.
I'm going to run a brief promo intro for the broadcast, and then as soon as that is over, you'll have the mic, okay? I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
And I did a lot of digging. It's more tentacles to human trafficking than just you meet the eye. Well, let's run this. It runs about 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Our program is about a 2-hour program, but we can be on as long as we want to. And you can leave when you get it ready. But I'm going to go ahead and run the intro, and then we'll be right back. Welcome to House of Gospel Blog Talk Radio. We are going to be talking about human trafficking.
Good evening, and welcome to House of Gospel Blog Talk Radio. Coming to you from 231 6th Avenue. Human trafficking. What is human trafficking? The national hotline for help for human trafficking is 1-888-373-7888. In the year 2007, 246,267 people involved in human trafficking. 22,784 just in this year alone. 56,000 human trafficking cases reported since December 2007. Human trafficking. National hotline for human trafficking is 1-888-373-7888. National Human Trafficking Referral Directory. Find social and legal service for victims and survivors of human trafficking, and connect with the training and volunteer opportunities across the U.S. and its territory. Listen, well, help. We'll listen, we'll help. We'll listen, and we'll help. If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, call now. That number is 1-888-373-7888. Or you can text 711. Or you can text 233-733. You can chat. It's absolutely confidential. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery. This crime occurs when a trafficker uses force, fraud, or coercion to control another person for the purpose of engaging in commercial sex act or soliciting labor or service against his or her will. Force, fraud, or coercion need to be present if the individual engaging in commercial sex is under 18 years of age. The national hotline cases occur in hotels and motels. Human trafficking intersections with transportation. The National Human Trafficking Referral Directory. Find social and legal services for victims and survivors of human trafficking connect with training and volunteers opportunities across the U.S. and its territory. All right, stay with us as Ms. Cassandra Howard will be joining us here shortly. Again, welcome to Household and Gospel Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, Ms. Howard, again, welcome to Household and Gospel Blog Talk Radio. We come from 231
Thank you for having me.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us about, we talked briefly this afternoon, and you were telling me about Monroe County, right here where we live. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, I retired from the education system after 26 years, and now I volunteer with Camille Place. Now, Camille Place is at an undisclosed location in South Alabama, and of course we have to stay undisclosed for the safety of the people who work with survivors and the survivors themselves. We have just broken ground for a residential home after years of foundational efforts. There will be 16 beds when we are up and running for minor females who have been rescued from trafficking. When we're up and running, I will serve to help survivors with their school lessons. But right now, though, I'm working with Camille Place Cares, which is an offshoot organization that helps to educate the public about human trafficking. This past fall, we were honored to train Monroe County school bus drivers, counselors, and some teachers on what human trafficking is, what signs to look for, and what to do if they suspect human trafficking is going on. You mentioned that human trafficking is modern-day slavery, and you're right on target. And actually, people estimate right now that there are more slaves than there ever have been in the world, which is frightening because we know that there has been an awful history of slavery going back to Bible times. But right now in the world, there are more slaves than there ever have been. And a lot of those are minors. I recently attended the Summit on Human Trafficking in Alabama, actually last Friday. It's put on by End It Alabama, ENDIT Alabama, which is a human trafficking task force in Alabama. Alabama takes this very seriously. I heard a gentleman talk. He was from a federal law enforcement agency, and he told us that in the month of January in Alabama, they had rescued 9 minors already. Just in the month of January, 9 minors who were involved in human trafficking, and 2 of those were boys. A lot of times we think about human trafficking like in the movies. You have this pretty girl who is kidnapped in a bad part of town, and she's taken by this evil man who throws her in a van, but that's a very small percentage of how human trafficking victims get into trafficking. One of the things that we told our teachers to look for were students who were involved in online relationships. You know as well as I do that people who are online can hide behind a picture, hide behind a keyboard, and so many young people, well, and older people too, but not just girls, not just females, males as well, have been tricked by people on the other end of the internet from them And they start out, maybe the young person or older person who may be married is unhappy at home. With the younger people, we find that, their mom and dad are too strict, or they're being hassled a lot. There's a lot going on, and they're tired of school. They want to be independent. And so the person on the other end of the line feeds into that and says, yes, you can do better. Yes, I can come save you. I love you. I want you to be with me forever. Well, perhaps they meet this person from the internet. And, it could be that it's somebody 40 years older than them who does kidnap them. More than likely, it's someone who is a little older than them, someone who acts as a boyfriend, who treats them well for maybe a week or so, protects them from being found, feeds them, treats them well, and then in a couple of weeks, well, honey, you know what? You owe me this money, and it's time to pay up. And they have no way to pay other than being trafficked.
Right here in Monroe County, the 9 minors that were rescued here in Alabama, were they locally, or are they from just all over Alabama?
From all over Alabama.
All over Alabama.
But you, go ahead.
But I was about to say, right here in where we live, in this area here, Monroe, Beatrice, and around here, what are some of the signs, like you said before, to look for somebody that may be involved in human trafficking? I'm talking about from the minor's point of view. What do you look for in that child or that young man?
Right. And that's a good question. We all need to be on alert, not just our school teachers and bus drivers, but minors who are being trafficked may have a fear of making eye contact, which would come with shame of what's being done to them and what's being told to them. It's not just physical abuse, it's also emotional and probably spiritual, that they are told that they're worthless. And if someone is told long enough that they're worthless, they don't want to make eye contact with others. There may be an older male or someone acting like a boyfriend who is very controlling, someone who is around them all the time, tries to take them away from their family perhaps. Then they may show signs of physical, mental abuse, sexual abuse. Younger children may be inappropriately dressed for their age. Low-cut things, short shorts. In the school system, they may be out of school for a long time, and nobody can make contact at home. They also may have a tattoo. A lot of these traffickers like to brand their girls and boys like their property. And so it may say, daddy's girl, or it may be a dollar sign. Something like that would definitely raise my interest.
Okay, in our system, Monroe County educational system, how much is being done now to make Monroe County Board of Education teachers and administrators and workers aware of what's going on in locally here?
Well, Camille Place Cares, like I said, is